Welcome, and thank you for tuning in. If you enjoy this video, we invite those of you who haven't yet done so, to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the notification icon, to be notified when the next one is uploaded. We'd like to urge those of you who haven't yet done so, to sign our online petition for an inquiry into the BBC and Channel 4's coverage of Lewis Hamilton and Abu Dhabi. A link has been provided in the description. If you are on X, then please repost our tweet. Thank you. Max Verstappen's superb pole in Saudi Arabia has turned the spotlight on the stunning F1 record that he set after the previous qualifying session that left the media speechless. Never short of superlatives for describing the once-in-a-lifetime generational talent that is ripping through the record books faster than Manchester United ripped through Lyon's defence to score 5 spectacular goals, F1 media appear to have no words to describe Max's latest record. In our previous video, we noted how last year Lando Norris set the record for conceding the title race with 5 races to go. This time around his busy mate, 4-time consecutive world champion going for his record equaling 5th, conceded his title defense with 21 races to go. However, this stunning record has been completely blacked out or whitewashed by the mainstream F1 media, as reports of it are only available on select Dutch and a smattering of other independent media. One can't help but wonder why mainstream F1 media like Sky Sports, BBC, and ESPN have chosen not to report this record-breaking event, given that, according to Sky Sports' Simon Lazenby, they have a duty to report what they see or what they hear.
I mean, look, this is the nature of it. Right? We might as well report what we see, report what we hear. Name.
It is a matter of public record that before this season, Max has led the F1 title race since he took the lead at the Spanish Grand Prix in 2022. With his FIA-gifted ability to maneuver his tricky but dominant Red Bull while his teammate restricted by driving the cursed second car, he was never challenged for the title. If a driver from outside his team came anywhere near, the FIA stepped in, while Red Bull kept the myth of the cursed second seat alive. Consequently, Max has never had to engage in a real title fight other than that of 2021, where he needed the FIA to gift him a title just because. It is therefore not surprising that faced with a situation where he is running third after 3 races, in which the front-runners had shared a victory each, he was compelled to concede his record-equaling attempt. Guess there wasn't enough Dutch courage to give him a fighting spirit because, after a disappointing qualifying session in Bahrain, where he finished in 7th, 3 places ahead of his one-race rookie teammate Yuki Tsunoda, Max, the most gifted driver ever, conceded his historic attempt, with 21 races to go. A record that will most definitely remain unbroken. He made this historic concession in a post-qualifying interview he granted to a Dutch media outlet, which expectedly went viral. "Oh, I'm sorry, I do apologize." It went viral in the Netherlands and a smattering of non-Dutch speaking independent F1 media, who had the Dutch courage to carry the news. As expected, on race day, Super Max, who had been touted by the likes of Helmut Marko, Andrew Benson, and Martin Brundle of being capable of winning even while driving a reliant Robin, pulled a lemon out of the hat. In a stirring testament to his legend, he soared from a lowly 7th to an impressive 6th-place finish, 1 place behind Lewis Hamilton, the man whose legacy he and his supporters are eager to eclipse. Never mind that Sir Lewis, who had qualified in 9th place, put in a driver of the day performance to finish ahead of his challenger. Never mind that Red Bull are 1 place ahead of Ferrari in the constructors' table, with Max, the only driver outside of McLaren to have won a GP so far this season, lying in 3rd place in the drivers' table. Never mind that there are some changes scheduled for later in the season that should deprive McLaren of their convenient advantage. Never mind all of that, the leader of the McLaren chasing pack pulled up after the 3rd hurdle. Nothing of the Dunkirk spirit, or whatever the Dutch equivalent is. Nothing of the Dutch courage that earned him a deserved first title in 2021. You all heard Simon, right? Well then, Why did Sky not report that Max conceded the title after a poor qualifying in Bahrain? As we showed you in our previous video, the Sky Sports F1 YouTube homepage does not feature a video addressing the abject surrender, nor have we come across any coverage anywhere else on Sky. Nipping across to the BBC, the story is the same, no coverage of the abject surrender. ESPN also conveniently did not mention the surrender. Consequently, only the limited number who watched the Dutch media interview will know that Max conceded the title after 3 races. So, here's the thing. How did all these supposedly separate and independent media outlets arrive at the same decision to not report what they had heard or seen being discussed during the interview that Max had granted to the Dutch media? Why do the wider public not deserve to know that the once-in-a-lifetime generational talent, sweeping all before him as he drove the tricky Red Bull into the record books, has conceded the title after only 3 races, and on the back of a dominant lights-to-flag victory in the previous race? Curiously though, despite conspicuously ignoring the historic concession, the F1 media went to town on the unconfirmed reports that an unhappy Max was heading out of Red Bull unless they were able to provide him with a dominant car. It is rather odd that this superstar, who could win the title with one hand tied behind his back while driving the Trotter family's Robin Reliant, was unhappy with a car that had delivered 3 titles, while he was lying in 3rd place after sharing a victory with each of the frontrunners. It is also very convenient that the unconfirmed reports of his impending Red Bull exit were attributed to the ubiquitous Helmut Marko, who we have never been able to establish whether he is Team Verstappen or Team Red Bull. There are those cynics who would suggest that Helmut invented the exit story in collusion with a corrupt F1 media to draw attention away from the concession interview that was being suppressed. It is telling that those who were quick to accuse Sir Lewis of disloyalty when he switched from Mercedes to Ferrari, after 3 unfulfilling seasons, have no criticism of reports that Max could be leaving 3 races into a title defense. F1 media were quick to come up with plausible justifications for the exit that should have been condemned by the Hamilton yardstick. There were untethered suggestions that Max's driving was masking problems with the car despite the fact that he had won one of the 3 races to date. It is also informative that there is the presumption that George would be the one to make way at Mercedes or Fernando at Aston Martin. Guess the will to pamper Verstappen is very much alive and kicking. Perhaps, the whinging from Helmut Marko was a plea to the forces that be, to either allow Red Bull to reuse the Japan engine mode, or bring forward the date for removing the McLaren advantage. Well, lo and behold, the man that conceded the title last race because his car wasn't competitive has just claimed pole position in the subsequent race, after kicking up a fuss. The Saudi pole clearly undermines Max's claim that his car is not competitive, and highlights the fact that he doesn't have the stomach for close competition. Forza Ferrari.